All right, we are live, and the New York Mets are an embarrassment to the game of baseball, to sports in general, to planet Earth, to the universe, whatever you want to say. So we're here for our weekly show. We're going to bang this out, and then we're going to move along with our lives. And luckily, if your summers are completely ruined by your baseball team, like us and a couple other fan bases, there's much more to do. This summer, the Cup is taking over the U.S., and only DraftKings has you covered every step of the way. We're talking the World Cup. The DraftKings Sportsbook app is now available in all 50 states and includes all markets, bringing the game straight to your fingertips wherever you are, from Florida to Texas to California. You're in on the excitement at the speed of sports. Follow every group stage upset, every knockout round thriller, every stoppage time moment that flips the whole tournament. Sweat all the matches you love in real time with a seamless experience built for the world's biggest stage. No matter where you're watching, you're always connected and in the game with one app. New DraftKings customers sign up with code BELIEVE. Spend $5 to get $200 in rewards within 21 days. That's code BELIEVE in partnership with DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. And I'll be honest, boys, I'm having fun watching soccer. One thing I'm not having fun watching Major League Baseball. So right at the top, I have some housekeeping to do. This was said, by the way, in the group text before last night's game. The new rule is if the Mets are this fucking disgusting, we're a 30-minute max show. 30 minutes. They don't deserve more than 30 minutes of our time or your time at home. If we're in the mid-sentence, no more we gotta believes, which I think we're not even gonna probably might have to ban that next. We're just gonna cut it and the show is over. And we have officially, after last night's 6-error game, next week's show has been suspended. It's like kicking a player out. It's been suspended. So next week, no show. We're going dark in remembrance of last night's game, in honor, like whatever you want to call it. Absolute disgusting sludge fest. 6 infield errors. Most errors by a Mets team since 1962, right? Which feels very fitting. The Mets have given up 50 runs in 5 games, just to let you know this was not just a one-night disgusting moment. Not only that, they lost Gary and Ron last night, which is like when like the political loses like its like biggest supporter. It's like they lost its base.
Like even Fox News is criticizing Donald Trump now. That's when the booth turns on the Mets.
Yep. And I just have to shout out this one tweet that I saw right before we went live. Someone named T. The trash can lady got fired, but Mendoza is still the manager of the Mets. Perfectly well said. Kev, how are we feeling right now in Kunsalina after seeing that disaster?
Brother, I may have permanently relocated to Kunsalina. And not through my own volition, but like with the lockout looming, there's a strong chance I never watch the Mets ever again. Like, just being real about it. Like, I don't want that to happen, but it's effectively going to be like 2 years because I ain't watching the rest of this fucking bullshit season. And then we lose all of next year. And then if you do return, it's going to take a little while to get going. Conceivably might not really be actively watching and consuming and worrying about the Mets for 2 years. That's how fucking bad they are because this product is genuinely unwatchable. I feel like every year we have a bad year, we now say this is the worst Mets team of all time. But this is the worst Mets team of all time. At least as bad as last year was, there was like 2 months of good play. Remember, I mean, early on last year, we were like, we're going to have an easy summer. So it all fell apart in a truly disgusting way. But that's still 2 months almost of like enjoyable baseball. There has not been 1 second of baseball that I enjoyed. And it's always the Mets way that they're not just losing. They're 6 fucking errors, 1 billion runs. And it's always coming against a guy that we traded that we shouldn't have, who's blossoming while all of our players just fucking suck. We are radioactive. We are rotten to the core. It's radiation. It's Chernobyl. You come here, you put on the uniform, you get in this building, and you rot from the inside out until you are horrible. I don't even blame Stearns anymore. There's nothing you can do because this thing is dead on the inside. It needs to just be buried and like seal it off with cement. Just bury Citi Field and get rid of the fucking franchise.
Bury it, blow it up. Pour hot liquid magma over it.
But for real though, I mean, what can you do? Like, I don't think Stearns did a good job, but he puts players on the field that should be able to play baseball. And they just don't. What do you do when everybody, I'm a 300 hitter, I'm a 3 ERA pitcher, I throw 200 innings, I do this, and then they just come here and they just don't do any of it.
Yep.
It's inexplainable.
One thing you could do is do what Kyle did and find a new team. Savannah Bananas jersey on right now. By the way, I don't want to get it twisted. We support the Bananas in the Clem household. We are also a Loco Beach Coconuts team because their jerseys are fire and it's just a fun name to say.
I support the first responders of the world, so I'm the fireman team.
Oh, fair enough.
They are.
So Phil, you're either the Clowns or the Tailgaters. Who do you want?
Well, I'll root for one team. It's Clowns, so I'll take the Tailgaters.
I was going to say, is that even
to the Clowns, right?
Bro. Like, jeez.
You know what? This is unfortunately nothing new. Although I don't think I've ever seen 6 errors. Where does that fall in the
2014, September 1st is the last time.
What's the highest we've ever had?
I have to say it's 6 because they also had one in 2007.
More than that, we truly are the worst franchise in all sports. The new twist here is like doing it right after the Knicks won. And it makes it that much more despicable because it's like, man, the Knicks were just as bleak and bad and like no hope, like hopeless as the Mets were. And they in a league where there's a cap and aprons and you got to really like figure it out. They still did. We've got a billionaire owner. And we've got a crown jewel city, and we just can't even come close.
There's subjective.
One thing when everyone else is losing. You know, it's one thing when we're all fucking
throw the first pitch. That's the only draw.
Yeah.
The Norwegian team, I mean, are they trying to murder Frank? Because it certainly seems that way. Mr. and Mrs. Met in center field doing the row while letting up a 3-run home run on the way to a 10-run game. I mean, that's like torture porn.
That was awesome, though. I will say, not that moment, but I was so confused why there was such a roar at 1:10 p.m. on a Wednesday, and then when they go in the stands, and then did you see the picture of Cowbell Man meeting all the fans? Like it's like a cinematic picture. It's like Pocahontas, you know. It's like people from the New World, and like you know the people, the explorers meeting for the first time, and it's like we're not so different after all. We're just a bunch of crazy lunatics. Oh. So good, Kyle. So good.
The worst part is that the fact that Norwegian video with the rowing with the home run was like such a thing. I saw so many people quote tweeting it being like, this is perfect. This is cinema. This is like the best moment ever. That's the problem with the Mets is like they're just a punchline always. Like if someone hit a home run against the Twins and they were in the crowd rowing, it would be like, oh, that's funny, but it wouldn't be like, look at this, the Mets are a fucking embarrassment and the Norwegians are rowing on them. It's just like everything is always a thing because they're just such a fucking joke. It's not even just like we can lose. It's like you have to lose and it's the most embarrassing possible thing all the time.
Watching your makeshift first baseman make 2 errors and then the crowd chanting Pete Alonso.
Chanting Pete Alonso was unbelievable. That was
I don't even you like harp on the older players, but honestly, like fuck David Stearns, like and the management and everybody else involved. It's like at least make it known that nobody is happy and they're not going to tolerate it. They're lucky they're in the stands at this point. So if they're going to go, they can say whatever they want.
And I like it because you know what? They're like that's a real fan base. They know what the fuck they're talking about. They know. Like that's an educated fan base who knows how much we botched this. Stearns, I said it when he made the moves. Those were not like tinkering and retooling. Those were like, I'm putting my reputation and franchise on the line. And if you do that, it's got to work. And not only did this not work, it's completely backfired. So I just don't know how you survive that. Like, it was the easiest thing in the world. And I know a lot of you still disagree. I know a lot of people think that it was still a good idea to pass on Pete and that he's average and like whatever. But you're franchise leader in home runs. He gives you 30 to 40 a year. Like, just give him money and he stays. It was the easiest thing to not have a controversy. Maybe even overpay. Like, I do understand he's not worth all the money. But, like, just do that because it's set it and forget it. And instead, you tried to get like creative and go all in, and I appreciate that. But when it totally fucking fails, something's got to come. Like there's got to be some sort of punishment for this.
Punishment. I like that. I mean, we're the ones getting the punishment right now. We're the only ones who
Yeah,
are.
like David Stearns needs to be punished. He needs to be like reprimanded. Like you're grounded, Stearns. You can't leave the house this weekend.
That would be nice. Phil, how was it watching all this? Well, I guess the day game, the ground zero with Tank there. I saw Eddie being in New York and to see all that firsthand as a Cubs fan.
I actually, once the Grand Slam happened, which like I knew was gonna happen, I just left the office for a day and I was like, fuck it.
Yep.
But,
and I'll tell you what, I used to think it was silly. Francisco Lindor doesn't stop fucking smiling every time he fucks up. Like, Frank was killing him all this time, and it was always like a little silly. And I know what it is. Like, he's not actually like happy. He's like laughing at himself, like I fucked up, and it's just like a defense mechanism. It's like a reflex. I get that, but he needs to work on changing it because it pisses everybody off. And yes, it's kind of unfair and a little bit silly, but it's the facts. Like when you're making 6 errors in a game and you're doing one and you're just kind of laughing along, it's going to infuriate people. So fucking stop, dude.
The new narrative now is that they shipped Pete out and Nimmo out, and he was thinking he was being tapped to be the captain because that happened. And then when Cohen came out and said, like, we're never going to have a captain, he's just stopped caring. That's the new narrative. It's like, well, then he's not going to rush back from the injury. Then he's not going to do this. Then he's not going to do that. And if he doesn't care, then the rest of the team's not going to care.
And you know what? If there's any truth to that, that's fucking absurd.
Yep.
But the real problem is that, like, it feels like it could be true. And these narratives always start because the media, the fans, the baseball world is always trying to like make that narrative with the Mets. And we just keep giving them the opportunity. So as silly as that might be, I saw Carton yesterday saying that he and like some of the baseball world has a theory, like you said, Kyle, like the new narrative is that Soto and Lindor will never play together. And that's why they keep like shifting off their DL stints.
Yeah.
And obviously this is all so silly, but this is the sort of conversation that we like evoke by our play. Like there's nothing else. We have to concoct this ridiculous bullshit because everything else is, you can't even discuss it. You can't even fathom it.
That I hadn't heard that theory. But like it's gonna keep happening. I can tell you right now.
Oh, yeah.
Once Soto comes back, just Mark Lindor going on the IL like that moment.
I mean,
essentially.
I know this is a little silly, but it's been long enough where there's been like friction and coldness, and they admitted they're not friends, but they're just like coworkers. And for a long time, I always downplayed that, just being like, not everyone has to be best friends, and like as long as they're playing, they're professional. But I don't know. It's been long enough where I'm like, maybe there just really is a problem between those two, and it's probably not helping the situation. I'm not saying that like the reason why we are this fucking bad is because of that, but I don't know. It seems like we don't have like a clear leader, and it seems like they do have some sort of issues, and that doesn't help the situation. So like, figure it the fuck out, man.
Lindor is now the longest tenured Met on the team after David Peterson is shipped out to Chicago, which like that is the perfect. Just send him across to the other dugout, and now all the other players are going to longingly look across like, damn, he got out. Like, good for him.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't believe that. What do we get for him?
The Cubs like 9th ranked prospect, like 13th ranked prospect. Like it's a 2nd round pick from like 2 years ago. It's a human being.
I'll take it. Like
First baseman, right?
What?
First baseman?
Yeah. I mean, Nicky DeGood was like, I thought we were going to get cash considerations. The fact we got a player, it's like, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
I can't believe we got like anything. I mean, these guys are literally worthless. Like
if he pitches today, he will shove.
Oh yeah.
He will be immaculate.
Someone said, are they going to have a tribute video today?
Oh,
That would be great if they had the tribute video.
oh my god.
we should get like we're like the farm system for the rest of the league in a weird way. It's like, well, he's got to go to the Mets and be terrible, and then we'll pick him up, and then he'll be awesome. It's like, can we get a ring if these guys go underperform? It's like because of us. You're welcome.
I can't even lie. I did like the Peter Armstrong like hate Google where I was like, let's see what his numbers are before the series, and he's batting like 287. I'm like, motherfucker, he's fucking good because he's been so hot and cold all year. Right. I was like, maybe he isn't that good, and then I went to his Savant page, read everywhere the eye can see, and I'm like, yeah, they really fucked that one up. And again, Baez was awesome for us. It was just the rest of the team was absolute dog shit. And
they learned a wrong lesson from the Pete Crow Armstrong trade because they should have traded more prospects. Instead, they kept more losers and let their prospect value deteriorate over time. That's why in 2022, hey, we didn't trade Brett Beatty. We didn't trade Mark Vientos. We didn't trade Francisco Alvarez. It's 4 years later. We know Brett Beatty and Mark Vientos are awful baseball players. Are still here. David Peterson for 2024. They could have cashed in on his absolute peak value and traded him then when he had 2 years of control left. And guess what? Now they just trade him for basically nothing now. I'll say it's a pure contrast out of Knicks run their front office where they realized their ceiling was capped. They traded RJ Barrett. They traded Emmanuel quickly at their absolute peak values. They knew their ceiling was capped. In the other side of Queens, we just keep our prospects till they're worth absolutely fucking nothing.
The fact that we sat on all of those guys, all of them, and now we just have a collection of like worthless players. Like now not only did none of them pan out and we didn't get anything, now we just have this log jam and this like blah. What do we do with them? I mean, not one of them worked.
We've traded so many prospects. We've traded so many prospects over God knows how many years, and I think Pete Crow Armstrong's like the only one to pan out. But people will point to is, see, that's why you can't trade prospects. Like, no. Can you name any other prospects we trade? Any of the prospects Brody trade, like Justin Dunn, Jared Kalenic, Ross Adolph, like who fucking like?
Yeah,
just trade.
I mean, you know, when they do call
there's one guy too.
What's that?
I'm sorry, Kev. No, there's one guy who's been pretty good this year. I don't know. Let's see if he's spiked at all.
Carlos Cortez, who they just like. Yeah, you're digging like bottom barrel now.
So it didn't, and like he was a low prospect when they traded him. The guy they got was actually good for the season we had him. But like if JT Ginn like gets back, like keeps getting better, that's going to be the newest one. They're just going to keep.
But they traded him for Chris Bassett, who was money in 2022. Like that's literally the reason they trade prospects. You got a good return.
Yeah. I'm with you on that, but I'm saying the narrative will then go, oh, another Mets guy, and it's like, well,
yeah.
When we went on the field and got to meet all the Mets that day, and we talked to like people in the clubhouse, everyone was like, "This guy Bassett, he's awesome," and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like he's one of those like leaders that seems to like unite people, and he was gone the fucking next year. Now, granted, for a contract we probably wouldn't have paid, but you can't like when you have a guy like that. I feel like those are the guys you need instead of this sludge that David Stearns has thrown upon us now. Sludge.
I got into a dust up with DeMeo about protection in the lineup, and like Juan Soto is having to hit now in front of Jared Young. Meanwhile, Alonso's still putting up his numbers. Juan Soto actually has better numbers this year, credit to him, than he did last season at this time or whatever he threw back to me. When we're down 5 or 6 runs every game, they can pitch to Juan Soto. If there's ever a close game, who the hell is throwing to him when they have MJ Melendez, Wagaman, Sanger? Like the lineup that we have has no depth, zero.
Nobody. You say those names, bro. I mean, they're fucking nobodies.
Yes.
Like they're nobody. Like, you know, Jared Young has, like, he comes up and he has a couple stretch where he's good.
By the way, get him off the team.
But they're bad, bro. These are like bad players that we rely on in like a major way. And I'm totally
Melendez and Jared Young have the most value right now. Nobody's taking Marcus Semien, who's dropping balls. Oh, the whole thing was, at least he can play defense. You telling me Jeff McNeil can't field the ground ball and get the fly ball in the outfield? Like, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, when you have like no first baseman, Pete's hitting 40, and your new defensive shortstop is dropping pop-ups, it's like the whole thing fell the fuck apart, man. Every single step of the way.
I forgot Luis Robert was even on the team.
I know.
Somebody mentioned him the other day. I was like, oh shit.
And the main thing, we didn't solve the number one problem from last year, the starting pitching. Because, look, Freddie Peralta, you could say he fell off the cliff, like he regressed. Nolan McLean, you weren't expecting him to have a 4 ERA. But we could have went this year. I could have told you, hey, Kodai Senga, he's going to be a bad pitcher because guess what? He wasn't awful last year. Sean Manaea, hey, he's probably going to be a bad pitcher because guess what? He was awful last year. David Peterson is probably going to be an awful pitcher because guess what? He was awful for 4 months last year. The only thing you couldn't predict was Clay Holmes getting injured on a fucking line drive off his leg.
You're not wrong. But like there was like 10 names in the mix. And a lot of it was like, we need this guy to bounce back or this guy to be like uncharacteristically good. But I really did feel like there was enough arms in the mix that we can get like 4 or 5 or even like 3. And then you have a couple scrubs.
You need at least one. You got zero.
Zero out of them.
On top of that,
like McLean is so weird because he'll still get you like 9 or 10 strikeouts and like the ball is moving in ways that I feel like he should be unhittable but he's just very hittable.
And on top of that, John Tong takes a step back and you have like the whole farm system is either the guys have been called up already or they're just stinking it up in AAA and taking steps back.
And you know what kills me, man? The Peralta thing really kills me. Like watching Sproat pitch well the other day and just knowing that like. I mean, it would be dependent upon McLean and Tong, like, figuring it out as well. But, like, we kind of had a thing there. Like, this could be our rotation of the future. And I was totally on board with moving them because I'm with you, Meek. That's why you trade prospects. And, like, Freddie Peralta was a proven thing. But again, you come to the Mets and you don't play well, and it's just like, well, now that sucks because we did lose a legit arm, I think.
If it makes you feel better, after that great Brandon Sproat start, his ERA sits at 5.43. It was just one good start. Okay. And I'll say this, the Trey Peralta trade, you trade your prospects probably at their absolute peak value because I don't think Brandon Sproat's getting better. I don't think Joe Williams is a midget and he's in AAA. He's not really getting better.
Oh, I'm with you. Yeah, I guess it's more. It's not like what we gave up. It's more that it just didn't work.
And we were so down on this team going into the season, and then he made 2 big splashes with Bichette and Peralta at the 11th hour, and we were just so
something happened.
Any type of movement happened after losing out on Diaz and losing out on, I don't even remember.
I won't blame him for Bichette. Bichette, that's all on him just being a fucking awful baseball player.
Bichette is going to be an all-star player second half just to get the fuck out of here.
Please.
100%. It's going to be garbage time stats, and he is going to get some big time somewhere else so he can leave.
Every time Bo Bichette's out running the scoring position, Gary Cohen's like, oh, he's in 320 in these spots in his career, and he strikes out on 3 pitches.
I hate him, man. I hate him. I hate what he represents. He's just one of the quintessential. I was good and I performed and I came here and I'm not. And it's the Jason Bays and it's you go through the list of just big names. And usually in the past we would get them past their prime or shit like that. But this is just it's like you took a year off, Bo. What? Why? How? What happens? What is it? Is there no accountability? Is it because we don't have someone the minute you go into a slump, there's not a player or a manager or someone being like, hey, figure your shit out. Yeah. What happens that we're allowed to just not be good anymore? And it seems I know they're obviously trying. They don't want to be bad, but what is it that we can't stop the bleeding and figure it out and turn it around?
And the manager gives us
Peralta is the worst of all because it's I didn't expect him or want him to be an 8 innings complete game shutout type of guy. I was just give me 5 inning Freddie. Just give me 5, maybe 6 innings and just be a good pitcher. And he can't even give me that. It's these guys all suck.
The only good thing with Freddie is at worst you're going to get back a top 100 prospect. You could basically reset the prospect clock in a way.
Yeah.
At worst you're getting the comp pick.
Yeah,
but it's it's just a feeling. I feel
what does it matter? Because you're not getting any hope for any of the prospects. Oh,
that's what I mean.
Benj and Ewing, but yeah,
it's there's hopeless. I feel this way with the Jets, where they just made all these big moves and they stockpiled all these picks, and I'm like, guys, the people we traded to get these picks were picks that we stockpiled. Yeah. It just keeps going. Time is a flat circle, and I try to Pete and Nimmo and those guys, they really did perform when they came up. And now you have Ewing and Benj. So I can't say that it never happens, but it just feels like it's an impossible Sisyphus, Clem. It's our Sisyphusian life.
Honestly, David Stearns now, for the next 4 trades, I want at least one of the prospects or the only prospect coming back to be at first. You got to stop first base now. You have completely fucked first base. Looking back, and Kev, you said there was a lot of things that just everything he touched went to shit, right? And it's crazy. This is probably the last part of my brain that still sees the bright side of stuff. But maybe if instead of getting Bichette, he ends up getting Schwarber for that contract that they offered him. He's at DH. Beatty's still at third, so at least we have a third baseman that can play third. And then first base, we have 7 guys. They probably would have all fucking sucked, let's be honest. But it's you're just taking away most problems. Brett Beatty in right field last night was the 18th worst play of the game, and it would have been the worst play in any other game of the season. It's a fucking nightmare. So it's maybe if you get Schwarber there, the offense doesn't suck as much, but you have to figure out first base because you let go of a beloved
guy. And especially, how often do we hear that that's an easy spot to fill? Corner infielders, corner outfielders, you can get those guys. They're a dime a dozen. It's well, apparently fucking not, because everyone we pick sucks, and the one
picked the wrong guy because. Wilson Contreras is available in trade. He has the 5th highest WRC plus among first basemen. Didn't get him. Fucking Ryan O'Hearn basically has a similar offensive numbers to Pete Alonso. Didn't get him. Let him go to fucking Pittsburgh. Muntaka Murakami. Why do you even go scout the guy in Japan who hits fucking bombs and not even go get him? I just named 3 options at first base they could have got, and you settled on a guy that never played the position before.
By the way, Meek, we had it filled.
I also named 2 better options. I named 2 better options.
I know when we get when you get into these sports debates, you start to talk about the money and the comps, and it becomes an argument, and you want to still prove your point or argue your logic. But at the end of the day, it was an easy move to make. It's your franchise leader in home runs. He's an everyday guy. He's durable. The fans love him. Is he worth every penny? Probably not. Too many years, yeah. But it was easy. And
on the flip side, if they have him on this team, what's their record? Are they like 38 and 43, 30 and 34? We're still losers either way. The same way we losers last year.
Yeah, but you can say that about everything. And then it's like, well, then why even try? You have to make the right move, like in this trade, in this signing, in this situation, and then your team comes together. Yeah, it's like you say the same thing about Juan Soto. It's like, well, we would suck with him or without him. Do we want him? It's like you still want these guys.
The main thing is the pitching. Like I said, there's 3 out of basically your pitching doesn't give you a chance to win any fucking day. You could have you could have 9 Pete Alonsos in the lineup. You're not winning a fucking ball game.
It's the anti version of, I mean, we didn't even have the 5 aces or whatever, but it's every night you just feel like you're in danger. Like Freddie Peralta, I was like, you can't give up 10 runs today, Freddie. You just can't do it. Like, how am I saying that about our biggest pitching acquisition of the offseason? It's absolutely bananas.
Like, if Pete Alonso going to stop Nolan McLean from giving up 6 runs in 5 innings, he's going to take a mound visit himself and say, hey, don't throw the fucking ball down the middle to Dansby Swanson.
I have this inning tracker, and somebody was like, this needs to just be, did the Mets allow 6 runs? And I'm like, yeah, fuck, you're right. Like, that's actually more accurate than what's going on in the field. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, have we considered that maybe Mendoza, he didn't tell Freddie to not give up 10 runs?
Yeah.
Maybe we just need the manager to communicate better. Like, maybe it's his fault. Here's the ball. Don't give up 10 runs.
Yeah, at some point, I know it's not the manager's fault. At some point, I have to blame the manager. At some point, when they have like the worst record in baseball over the last year now at this point, I have to blame the manager for not telling guys not to give up 10 runs or don't commit 6 errors in the infield in one game. At some point, I'm putting that at the manager's feet.
I will say, though,
got to be punished. They have to be punished. Like,
some of those are mental errors. Some of those are just like lack of accountability and, oh, don't worry, guys, we'll get them tomorrow. We'll figure it out. You have to light a fire under some of these guys who are lazy, who don't think like Mark Vientos, based on his resume, he should not be anywhere near as confident as he is when he takes the field. Yes, occasionally he'll run into one and crush a baseball. You're not setting yourself up for success the right way. They had to go and bring in JD Martinez back to be like your personal batting whisperer because they were like, this is going off the rails quickly and we need to figure out somebody that can talk to this guy.
Yo, Vientos, that guy stinks. I mean, like those are the guys where you got to move on. It's the same thing we did with Beatty and Mauricio, where it's like, maybe, perhaps it's going to happen. It's like, it's not happening, and we're just wasting our time and our energy and our effort on these guys who are never going to turn it around. These guys stink. And it's only us, the fans, who are so desperate for somebody to be good that you try to see the good in these guys. Well, if this happens and that happens and the stars align, it's like, no, these guys just fucking stink, man.
This is a very small note, but I had it like before everything blew up, and I don't know if we'll ever see one again. I've retired from Senga starts. Ed retired from Peters.
Well, so the team.
Well, he's in the bullpen, so they retired it for you.
Retired from that as well. The guy with a 10 ERA in the bullpen is an interesting move too.
If the bullpen
think it's gonna get better, think it's gonna be easier.
He's gonna get cut. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I guess if he throws like you said, they just gas out 1 inning every 3 days because he can't pitch like in 72 hours, right? So I guess if he just
I'm sorry, I keep interrupting, but like we've coddled Senga, we did the 6-day rotation, or like everything was for him to like finally let's put this in a platter for you to be good. It's like I'm done with that. Like I'm done accommodating Kodai Senga. He's not good enough to accommodate. Just get rid of this guy.
This is one of the things I was looking forward to when we got Cohen as an owner, was we would get the rubber room for the guys who stink. Remember Kagawa, when he just stuck and the Yankees just threw him to like Double-A, you never heard from him again.
Right.
And I think Pavano kind of was the same way. That's where Senga should be. That's where Peterson should have been by the end.
If Cohen wants
that's where fucking Marcus Semien should be. He's played every game. How is he playing every game? He's the worst player on the team.
You've already got one second baseman that's watching a Cohen era and Cano 2 years after his deal. Do it fucking again.
That's crazy.
And honestly, like, if Cohen wanted to make a statement, he should just eat Manaya's contract. Yes. Just be like that's the kind of money I'm like. It's a lot of money. This is not just like some like scrub kid. I'm willing to eat that. Show me that like you don't give a fuck and you're trying to get better and you're not worried about money. Put him in the rubber room. Send him, blast these guys into the sun, and show me that you really do have the money, man.
And this is we're running out of time. Statement. I think at this point, if you're Steve Young, you got to say something. I mean, what the fuck are we doing right now? I'm not saying you have to be George Steinbrenner every time there's a losing streak. You were quiet during that first losing streak, and your team just had like the most embarrassing game in years, which is saying something as a Mets fan.
If you're gonna say something, you should say it like for real, though. Like you make a real statement where you're like, like changes are coming. Like It can't just be another like we're like a Mendoza statement. Like we're going to try to turn it around. If that's going to be the case, I'd say you just stay quiet altogether.
I mean, if this was Brody, he'd be calling him up from his couch to the bullpen phone and be like, "Get the fuck out."
Yep.
Right. That, and the problem is what you said about like the mental errors.